You know what? I'm gonna sit up for this one. Nice little cross-legged action in there. This week was a little rough. Not gonna lie to you, but it was rough. I see now for really stupid reasons. Yeah, a lot of it had to do with results and expectations. I think. I know. I don't think. I know. Between my business and this, when it comes to content creation, my ego is killing me. It's not killing me in the sense that I think I'm this walking god. I don't. I'll be the first person to say I am not special. I don't really believe in special. I believe in unique, but I don't believe in special. When I say my ego is killing me, I attenuate a lot of that to the expectations that I have. And you might even feel similar. My expectations amongst my business, my expectations amongst content, my expectations amongst myself are fueled by my ego, which I believe is entirely propelled by my greed, constantly wanting more, thinking that I am more or I should be more, and not appreciating what I am, what I have, or what I've built. I keep setting the fucking bar. I keep moving the bar out of reach. And that's what's killing me. I keep moving that bar every time I get semi close to that bar. I move it just a foot further, and so on and so forth. And I think a lot of the reasons why is because of where I come from and where most people come from. I think this is a lot of people's issue when you start to embark on your own thing, when you start to, go down the path of entrepreneurship or whatever that might look like, whatever you're doing by yourself that's breaking away from the norm of society, such as get a 9 to 5, work your job, do what you're told, and then, everything else just kind of falls into place. When you come from that world, which 99% of us do, it comes with this lesson, this belief that is pounded into you ever since you were a kid. Whereas if you want, you work. If you work, you get. If you go to work and you work a 40-hour work week, let's say, wherever it is that you work, you're going to get X amount. Corrupted businesses and taxes aside, if you work the next week 80 hours, you are going to get double ish. That doesn't work in this world. Once you step out of that regular structure, it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't, that's a very unique rule to that structure. And I'm bringing a lot of that with me. Even when I was bodybuilding, which I don't do anymore, but I do try and, keep my physique and my health somewhat in check, it's still the same rule. If you want to build a better physique, if you want to build better health, do the things that build the better health, that build the better physique, and it will come. The only way it won't come is if you're not doing the things to get it. Simple. It's probably why I developed so much respect in that industry and why I sat in it for so long and why I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the heck out of it because I knew that if I worked, I got. And now I'm in this world and that don't follow suit. Just because you want it and just because you work for it does not guarantee you're going to get it. And that's a very difficult pill to swallow, especially for your ego, because your ego wants it. Your ego works for it, and then it doesn't get it. So what does it do? It lashes out. It gets angry. It gets furious. It feels violated. And that's where I'm at right now. That's where I've been for the last week. Everything I'm doing right now is really, really hard. I've started a business from entire scratch that I'm still trying to get off the ground. And I've done a ton of good work in that department and in that direction. But there's a lot of things I don't know how to do. I don't know how to get my product in front of people. I don't know how to market properly. I've read courses and material on how to do that, but it's not how my brain works. It's not where I come from. So a lot of it doesn't really make sense to me. And I don't know how to navigate it or go around it. But those are the things that are going to ultimately propel my product and my business into the direction it needs to go. Well, my expectations sit there. My expectations are of that this is going to have to work. I don't really have a backup plan. Just so you know, don't be like me. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm really stupid sometimes. I don't have a backup plan. I have zero backup. This is my backup plan. My initial plan was to just work and, get the normal 9 to 5 and stuff going. This is my backup plan. My backup plan and my primary goal was to always work for myself. And it is really freaking hard. And I'm being met with these kind of roadblocks. It's not actual business roadblocks. It's not the roadblocks that you would expect. It's the self-doubts and the negativity, the stuff that I talk about all the time. And I want to make it abundantly clear that I am not void of any of this. Despite talking to it, I understand it. I understand where a lot of it comes from, and that's why I do preach what I preach. But I am not void of it. And that's starting to become even more apparent to me, that just because I talk about it and just because I shed light on it does not mean it's getting better for me inside of my heart and my mind. How do we navigate this? How do I go forward while still maintaining some level of expectation, because they are required, but to not rest my entire well-being on the expectations on that bar that I keep moving a foot away from me? And that's kind of where I'm at, is I want to figure that out. I do not have it all together. For anybody watching, I do not have it all figured out, especially in the world of content creation and business, because I'm very new to it. So on the content side of things, I still have no idea what I'm doing. I don't have an issue being in front of the camera. I don't have an issue recording myself. I don't have an issue talking about my stuff. I know some people might get a little uncomfortable doing it, and I understand that. I get that, but I don't feel it in the same way. I really don't care what you guys know about me, for the most part. Maybe like some stuff, but obviously you got to have a personal life. But at the end of the day, it's all good. You know what I mean? Within 100 years, every single human watching this and every single human that you see when you go out is going to be long gone. And there's going to be a whole new set of humans walking around. So I just don't really see the point in worrying about that kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean that there aren't things in that realm that I'm not worried about. And so when it comes to content, like, it would be easy for me to just say, fuck it, post whatever you post, whatever happens, happens, whatever doesn't, doesn't. And at first, that's what I was doing, and it was fine. It was all good. I would put out a post. I wouldn't even open up the apps. I wouldn't even open up anything. And now I do a little bit. I'll open to respond to comments and that kind of stuff. I love you guys. But now I'm finding myself opening up more to just expose myself, essentially, to the lack of growth that I expect. And that's the weird thing is in both creation and my business, I've had growth. It's very slow. It's very steady. Takes a long time, but I mean it's there. So I ask myself, I'm like what more why are you asking for more? Dude, why are you asking for more? You're slowly achieving the things that you set out to achieve, and it's not happening fast enough for you. So that's it. It's not happening fast enough for me. What an egotistical point of view. It's okay that growth is slow if growth is there when you don't expect growth to be rapid. I think a large player in that formula for me is the requirement. Like I said, I don't have a backup plan. My professional world took a humongous stumble late last year. I was on the path to be very successful with the business I was working with, and a bunch of stuff happened, some medical stuff, whatever else. I guess that's the part that I privatize a little bit more, but I've talked about it. You know, the nerve stuff in my neck. I had a physical job. Things were creating issues. It was tough. So I was let go in lieu of all of that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to gain the official credentials, if you will, in the field that I was working in, just simply due to time and schooling incapabilities and whatever else. So I'm not really able to take a lot of that to other businesses without those credentials. They don't really have a reason to stick their neck out for me. So in that regards, aside from just going back to regular basic work, which I'm not above and I will do if I have to, I would rather fight tooth and claw to make this work and my business work. And I would rather put my effort and energy into that as long as I can. Obviously, without hindering yourself. And at some point, you do have to swallow that pride and say, okay, well, it didn't work. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to try and figure something else out. I'm not there yet. And I don't really want to get to that point, but I very well may. And we'll cross that bridge when we come there. But I think a large part of those expectations is because I don't have a backup plan. This is my interest. This is what I want to do. I just don't know how the hell to do it. So, you know, it's a tough battle to fight when you come from that expectation or that world of when you want it and you work for it, you typically get it. But so much of the world does not operate on those principles. And I spent way too much time in the version of the world that does operate on those principles. That now that I'm out of it, it's very difficult. And I think these are really key factors to remember. And honestly, the biggest killers to entrepreneurs or people that go into entrepreneurship, period, before they even get to don that title, is they quit and they give up in the same fashion that I have been this close to doing multiple times, is packing up shop and saying, it's not meant for me. But I think that's the only way that you're actually going to lose. You can't be a loser if you're still in the race. Even if you're in last place, you haven't lost. And the funny thing about this race of life is it never stops. There is no finish line. People just get taken out of the race, but the race is ever going. It'll never stop. So even if you're in last place, or whatever you think last place is, which you're probably not, and I'm not in last place, I'm just not in the position I want to be in. You know, it's like being 152nd and you're like, well, if only I was, you know, top 100, even if I was 99, I'd be happy. Then you get to 99 and you realize that you could be top 50 So does that now discredit the claim you just made about if I was in 99th, I'd be all good? I know that a lot of this is true. I know that it sits in my mind regardless, but it's becoming abundantly difficult to abide by that knowledge and to actually listen to myself. It's almost like my own advice is some of the hardest advice I've ever had to take, because you also know what advice you need to take. It's the beautiful thing about tailoring your mind to you. So, now how do you take the advice? I'm not going to quit. Not yet. Not yet. But I'm certainly not going to sit here and say that I deserve anything that I want yet. I don't know how to achieve it. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if this is going to be the final form that any of my accounts or anything take. I do enjoy this though. I do enjoy saying my piece. I enjoy getting my introspective thoughts out there. I think there's maybe a lot of people that could resonate with it if they ever see it. Maybe not. I don't know. But either way, there is one thing that I know for certain. The whole process of doing this, sitting here, filming myself, talking my thoughts and getting that out there and then hitting post feels good. And as you all know, I am an advocate for doing what feels good. Do what makes you feel happy. Do a lot more of what does and a lot less of what doesn't. So in lieu of that, I think as I continue to post content, whatever that's going to look like, I'm probably going to stop checking it so much. It's not to say that I'm not going to respond to comments. It's not to say that I'm not going to get ahead of any of that, but it might take a little bit more time for me to do so. I do see everybody's comments, and I try and like and reply to basically every single one of them, except for like the really stupid, rude ones. Like some guy commented on one of my videos today or yesterday. He goes, "I'm just going to block your account so I never have to see your content again." I'm like, that's fair. That doesn't hurt my feelings, but I'm just not going to respond to it. Like, actually, I think I did. I think I did respond to it. So, never mind. What am I saying? But yeah, no, I think I'm going to stop checking it as much and do what I initially set out to do. Focus more on my business, less on my content, while still putting out the quantity of content with the quality I expect to do so. And then that's where I'm going to kill the expectations. I'm not interested in hurting myself much more than life already does, than I already do on a regular basis. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Maybe somebody resonates with it out there. Maybe there's another entrepreneur watching my video who is feeling almost every single word that I said. And if you are, let me know. Because it's nice, even for me, as the person posting these videos, to know that I am not alone. I know I'm not alone, but it's always nice to see it, you know? So, yeah. Control what you can control and don't worry about what you can't. Get stimulated, stay stimulated. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.